Alright, hi everybody. I hope you can see this okay. I'm just putting my extra glove on here. Like I said, I wanted to do an inspection. This is the Carneolans that I installed on Monday. And I just wanted to go over the equipment that I use early in the spring when I'm not using a lot of smoke or anything. Hive tool. You're going to find different varieties. This is called the J-hook. This is the one I tend to use. I need to clean this. A frame grip. Some people love the frame grip, some people don't love it so much. I love it because it lets me get a good grip on the frame. I'm using a knife. I have a knife here in case I have to pull that marshmallow out of the queen cage. I'm going to move this stuff under where my camera holder is. And this is my newest thing. I started doing this last year. Yours does not have to have these on it, but like you can go to the dollar store and get a tea towel. And what you can do is you can lay it on top of the side of the box that you're not working. It helps keep the bees a little bit calmer, a little less need for smoke, a little less agitation, a little less million eyeballs staring up at you. So I highly recommend if you go to the dollar store and get yourself a tea towel to try it out yourself. All right, so this is the Carneolans. I hope I have this camera adjusted okay. We'll figure it out, we'll find out together. I'm gonna take all my stuff off. I'm gonna show you my feeder. Take off the outer cover. This is often called the telescoping cover. And I have my inner cover. Oops, and I moved my newspaper. Normally, this fell out. Normally I have some newspaper here. This helps to absorb the extra humidity that the bees will be making, especially after a couple of rainy days. You really want to make sure you have something dry-ish to help absorb that. Because I peeked in this hive earlier today. I peeked on the feeder earlier today. So I have my newspaper, my inner cover. I'm laying them on the ground. And now what you see is my feeder setup. This is a jar feeder. Right, and they've taken about half of it. I'm going to put it again behind you, and I'm going to pop this box off. Okay, so this is just a spare box. This is the top of my feeder. I have two holes that can hold jars and one little place that I can put a pollen patty. Okay, this girl didn't get out of the box in time. All right, so this is my top feeder. Now you're going to find a bunch of other kinds of feeders. I like to feed internally because there's less of a chance of robbing, especially with a small hive like this that's very new. All right, I rocked the hive. You can see they're already mad at me. So now I'm going to take my hive tool and I'm going to lift up a corner and then another corner. You always want to open away from you, okay? So they don't come after you. You know, you don't want to open so they're all on your stomach, all right? So now I'm just going to lay this over. And you see, actually, in the inside of the cover, you see I have some girls. Now we can see, weirdly enough, my girls are bunched all the way over here. So I am going to lay my towel over them until I can figure out what's going on, right? And I'm going to check my queen cage, which you'll remember I put the rubber band on. So that's going to be the one that I'm going to check. The first thing you want to do, whenever you do a hive inspection, is to take, gotta find my frame grip. Me losing tools in the bee yard is like a theme here. You wanna take one of the outer frames out. This is completely not built up. This gives me more room for them to operate. All right? Seeing a lot of wetness here, I'm not in love with that. And now I can just move this one over, and now I can move this one over, and I can take a look, and you can see, I hope you guys can see, there's nothing in that queen cage. So the queen has been released. She is out, so that is good news. Our next step is going to be to look and see if we can find anything good. So I'm going to remove the queen cage, and I'm going to remove the rubber band in hopes that I can use it for another year. It's kind of hard to do with gloves on. All right. If not, they're not fond of rubber bands. They will eventually eat it. They'll like break it and try to pull it out of the hive. I'm saving them some of that work, right? So she's out. We saw that with the empty queen cage. Again, you see, I put a big chunk of marshmallow. There's nothing there, and she's not in. So it's successful release of the queen. Now we just have to look to see what's going on. Just moving some frames over till I get to the frames that have more girls on them. I'm gonna use my frame grip. Okay. See what I can see. What do we got? I'm going to see if I can see her. She's probably not here because this is the first frame with bees on it, but we can see that this is going to be resources. This is a This, you can tell by the color of the wax, it's not nice and white. This is actually from the prior hive. Okay, let's take a look at our next one. Okay. Lift this up. All right. I'm looking for my queen. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm seeing her. Hold on, let me see. Take a look. You see how docile these girls are? You see how they're just like letting me do my thing? That's one of the pluses of carniolans. Okay. All right, and now we're going to take a look at my last two frames. Now, I was just in this frame on Monday, and they haven't really done a lot of propolising yet, so normally it's a little more work to pull those off. Okay, getting a little heavier here. Oh, this looks a little bit more promising. What do we got here? Okay, we got all these bees hanging out here. See how my frame grip helps me have a nice solid grip on this as I look for it, as I look around. All right, we got nice bees here, covered in bees, covered in bees. All right, shift my grip here, look for my queen. Still not seeing her. She should be on this frame based on where we are in the hive, meaning that the seams of the bees, they tend to gather where the queen is. So she should be on this frame. So I'm just going to gently move some of these girls, see if they'll let me get a better view. All right, I'm just gently brushing my hand over the bees. Maybe they'll let me see what's going on. See, no, they're not trying to sting, right? They're just like, what are you doing? Trying to find your queen, girls. Okay. All right. Take a look at this side again. Sorry. You don't want to be clumsy. They're not fond of that. Okay. And again, I did this with my hand rather than my hive tool because I have a little bit more control over what I'm doing, the pressure that I'm using with my fingers. Okay. Not really seeing her on here either. This is a little concerning. It's one of the reasons I have a nuke put aside. I'm going to take my frame grip and pick up this last frame. I'm going to take a second, lift up this last frame, also covered in bees. I'm going to move this frame closer to the inside of the hive. Okay. And I don't think she'd be on this side, but we might as well look anyway, just in case. Hi, girls. Not seeing any sign of a queen. Okay. Hi, girls. So we got ourselves a bit of a puzzle here. We got ourselves a bit of a puzzle because the girls are all the way on one side of the hive. Now this is the side of the hive that is closest to the sun. It gets the most morning sun, so that could be part of it. It is far away from where the queen was, which is a little puzzling to me. I'm not 100% sure why that is. So I'm just going to look again for the queen, but you can see that she was released. It might be time to start looking to see if I can find some eggs. Be a little early to have larvae. I'm not going to be too worried yet, because if she got released in the last couple of days, she might not be ready to lay yet, okay? But if I do my next inspection next week and I don't see capped brood, I'm gonna start getting worried, okay? Because that's the future of the hive, right? Again, I'm just gonna take a look, gently brush with my hands, because I don't want to squish her if she's here. Do you see how we got a couple bees that are like 2 or 3 bees deep here? All right, this looks like resources. So you get used to this. My first year, I never would have done this. I would have been afraid of hurting them or agitating them to get stung. They're just hanging out. They'll leave. They'll get off, right? Excuse me, girls. If you need to use your hand, you just go like that, see? And they're not going to get hurt when you do that. You just go back in the hive, girls, because I want to put this frame back. So I will continue to look and see if I can solve this mystery. But if you don't see her at first and you don't see eggs, she might have only been out a day or 2, so it's too early to see some eggs. So she still has time, right? But I am just going to check these frames again, but I'll do that off camera. Let me just... Hold on a second. This is the struggle. This is the struggle, guys.